Gluten sensitivity, or intolerance, as they are the same thing, can manifest as much more than just IBS-like symptoms and stomach problems. That's why doctors are more likely to dismiss the idea that you even have this, because if they don't hear about digestive problems as your chief complaint, then it must be something else. Gluten sensitivity can affect processes in the body beyond the digestive tract, wreaking havoc to your skin, joints, bones, mouth, endocrine system and more. Your myriad of symptoms that don't make sense to the doctor may mean that they've no clue that you are reporting back to them the signs of gluten sensitivity. The current model of medicine treats symptoms rather than looking for the underlying cause, which further explains why doctors are quick to prescribe medication that might ease only your momentary suffering. But it certainly doesn't excuse the lack of education and open-mindedness that would serve patients better if they knew more about the interaction between food and the body. Here's a checklist of some of the surprising signs that have been linked to gluten sensitivity, and make sure to get support with a trusted practitioner who has extensive experience with gluten-related issues. Depression and anxiety. Depression is a serious health concern for many people. Symptoms of depression can include feelings of hopelessness, lack of interest, low energy, appetite changes, sleep changes, anger, and more. ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder affects children and adults alike, but many don't make the connection of their symptoms to diet. Dr. Ron Hagen said, citing several studies linking ADHD and gluten together. He states, "The concept of drugging a child to facilitate learning is upsetting to me, especially when there is cause to suspect that, on the gluten-free diet, she may improve without intervention." And by intervention, Dr. Hagen is referring to medicinal intervention. Alternative approaches address food sensitivities and intolerance as a root cause of behavioral disorders. This follows the line of research and treatment that Dr. Charles Parker uses to treat patients in his psychiatric practice. He first looks at the gut, because neurotransmitters are produced directly by what's broken down in the digestive system. Leaky gut can facilitate a number of mental health issues, because gluten and other food proteins are essentially sneaking into the body, where they don't belong. Brain fog. Gluten can have the effect known as foggy brain in sensitive individuals. While it can be difficult to quantify gluten-induced brain fog, researchers found that there may be significant cross-reactivity of IgG antibodies to gluten and other different antibodies that could result in mental fogginess. These antibodies can also cause inflammation, which can further exacerbate the condition. Autoimmune disease. Sarah Ballantyne, PhD, said, "Every single autoimmune disease in which gluten as a contributor has been investigated has shown that gluten sensitivity is a contributor to that disease. But luckily, making the connection is the first step towards better health. It's even possible to know if autoimmune issues are brewing years before they bubble up to the surface, and you end up with a diagnosis. This gives you time to make nutritional and lifestyle adjustments that can impact whether you eventually develop a full-blown autoimmune disorder." Here's a list of some autoimmune diseases known to be related to gluten sensitivity: celiac disease, Hashimoto thyroiditis, Graves' disease, rheumatoid arthritis, vitiligo, Sjogren's, multiple sclerosis, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, dermatitis herpetiformis, and type 1 diabetes. Dental issues. Cavities, canker sores, broken teeth, and tooth decay can plague those with undiagnosed gluten sensitivity as well as celiac disease. A 2009 study found a positive link between gluten sensitivity and recurrent mouth ulcers. Unexplained weight loss or weight gain. For some with malabsorption and gut permeability due to gluten intolerance or sensitivity, unwanted weight loss despite regular calorie intake can have dangerous effects. On the other hand, gluten can trigger systemic inflammation in the body that mimics stubborn weight gain. Removing gluten for good and healing the gut with a healthy diet can restore weight to healthy normal levels. Migraine headaches. While not all cases of migraines are related to gluten, it's been linked as a significant cause for some. In a study that measured migraine headaches in gluten-sensitive individuals, chronic headaches were reported in 56% of those with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, 30% of those with celiac disease, and 23% of those with inflammatory bowel disease. Only 14% of those in a control group reported headaches. Skin problems. From eczema and acne to psoriasis and dermatitis herpetiformis, gluten can cause some extremely uncomfortable skin issues. Basically, inflammation under the top layers of skin can occur and cause eruptions of rashes, itchiness, burning, redness, and even painful blisters. Chronic fatigue. If you always feel tired and drained of energy, no matter how much sleep and rest you get, it could be diet-related. When gluten is constantly inflaming your body, your immune system acts as if it is under attack, and wastes a ton of energy trying to defend you. This is what makes gluten-intolerant people feel so depleted and exhausted, and over time it gets worse and worse. Eventually chronic fatigue sets in and the stress of it all just compounds it even more. Joint and muscle aches. Gluten's damaging inflammation in susceptible individuals can cause flares and pain. WebMD states that joint pain and inflammation are also common symptoms of gluten sensitivity.